In this video, I want to demonstrate how to program a complete circle 360 degrees in one line of G-code. So I want to demonstrate how to program our 1-inch cutter to travel around the part in one full circle with one line of code. We've already programmed it to cut this C shape. However, if we look here, we can see this distance is 1.25 inches and our cutter is only 1 inch wide. So we need to program 2 passes. And I'll just divide this into 2 equal passes. So the first one will take 5/8. Yes, it'll cut a lot of air, but that's okay. And then this one will also remove 5/8 off the. So I'd like this to be the first cut in our code. So over here in the code, I'm going to cut this. And I'm going to paste it down here. I'll add a G00. And then I'll paste it. And then back up here, we need to program our start coordinates here. So we're going to program the arc center. The edge of the cutter will follow this to leave the 5/8, and this is the path the center of the cutter will follow. So down here, we're at x0. So I'll code that, and then we need to calculate our y. Well, it's in the negative. To here is -2.5, and we go another 1.1 inches, so that's going to be -3.375. And then at that position, we'll pick up our height offset, feed to our depth of cut. And now I want to program an entire arc. So if I want to go this direction, it'll be G03. If I want to go this way, it'll be G02. We'll stick with G03 because that's what we did for the previous arc. So I'll add a G03. And I need to tell it to do a full circle in one motion. And I can't use the letter R because the letter R doesn't distinguish between doing this full circle and doing this full circle down here, which would also be a G03 arc. So I have to use the I, J, and K. And it's going to return to where it left from. So I don't need to program a new X and Y coordinate as they don't change. What I do need to do is describe what's the distance from the center of the cutter to the center of the arc, because I'm programming the cutter center, not using cutter comp. In this case, there's no movement in the x-axis, so if I did program an I, it would be 0. There is a movement in the y, and I'll put my Cartesian coordinates here. So it's y positive, and the distance is the 3.375. So I'm going to enter J, 3.375. That'll do a full circle, and then it'll wrap it to this position here and complete the part. So let's refresh that. And here we see our full circle. So I'll just play it once. We do our circle, and then we do our C shape. And we've now programmed the complete circle in one line. If we don't like using the I's, J's, and K's, we could break it into 2 arcs as we did earlier and program 2 R's. If I decided to start the cutter here, then what would be different would be the starting X and Y location, and this time the letter J would be 0 and I would be the radius. If I decided to start here, again the I is 0 and the J would be negative. And if we decided to start here, the J would be 0 and the I would be positive. So that's a quick look at how we use I's and J's to program a full circle in one line of code.